Howdy, folks. Greyhawk 4x4 coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. And we are here on a Thursday night for the Thursday night gaming chat. I hope everyone out there is doing well. I need to apologize in advance if you guys can hear the wind coming through the fireplace down here, because we are currently dealing with 50 plus mile an hour wind gusts to the north of us, and that is blowing directly into the chimney for this fireplace, which is causing, I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. I hope you can't, but if you do, I apologize, because it's pretty loud down here, but the microphone may be, hopefully it's not picking it up. But and so the other thing is that my allergies are going apeshit because it's blowing, even though I've got everything pretty much sealed off. If you follow me on TikTok, yesterday I did a video on my patio and showing the construction across from us across the street from us, which is just two giant dirt lots right now. And they're currently making dirt mountains. And so now with the wind coming that direction towards us, it's just blowing everything. I've got everything blocked as best I can. We're still getting shit inside the house here. So my throat, nose, everything's fucked. So, regardless, so if I sound a little nasally, that's exactly why. I'm trying to do what I can with the old tea here. But until they finish that construction, once they finish that, it's going to be, I believe, it's going to be townhomes, and to the west of us in that other lot, I think it's going to be some type of businesses. But once they're done, hopefully this will alleviate, because they're probably going to pave everything and put grass in and all that. So, but right now during the construction, it's a bitch. So anyway, so that all that housekeeping stuff is out of the way now. We do have a show and tell for a little bit later. We're going to talk about some gaming news. Bastille. So let me say hi to everybody here. Steel Guard, Lindis, Bastille. Howdy, everybody. Bastille says you guys had a storm, lots of hail. We were supposed to get rain with this. If it rained real well, that would help, because it would wet down all that dirt out there. But right now it's fucking dust bowl, like Oklahoma in the 20s. Out there, it's ridiculous. Hey, Mistra. So I think you saw my TikTok from yesterday when I was showing the construction. I was just telling them that now we've got these 50 mile an hour winds coming across there, and you saw all that dirt that I showed on the video, all those dirt, and and it's supposed to get rain, but we didn't get rain, so now it's just a dust bowl out there. It's ridiculous. So anyway, so we've got some stuff to talk about here. First and foremost, so Steel Guard, you're in Oklahoma now. So I went through Fort Sill, Oklahoma in Lawton. That's where I went through basic training and AIT and all that in the Army. So I was all over Oklahoma. I did funeral details literally all over the state of Oklahoma. So my family is from Duncan, and there was a little town called St. Louis, Oklahoma, that doesn't exist anymore, where some of my family was from way back. So I'm very familiar with Oklahoma and the wind. We called it, I don't know if you guys, so you're just north of Lawton there in Oklahoma City then. Do they still call it the hawk? Because we called the wind when I was at Fort Sill, especially in the wintertime, no matter how much clothing you had and layers you had on, when the hawk was blowing, it would cut through you like a knife. So I don't know if you guys still call it that, but that's what we called it. So, first and foremost, if you did not already see the announcement, Epic Games right now, you can get Borderlands 3 for free. they're having some huge sale or something, and they're doing either daily or every couple of days they're doing more free games, and no strings attached. Borderlands 3, Epic Game Stores. Right now you can get it for free. So if you haven't already done so, I'm gonna go and after I'm done with this, and I'll go ahead and get it, because that's the only one of the series I don't have on Steam, but for free, shit, I'm gonna get it. So on Epic, it's $15 on Steam right now. So obviously I've not played it, but the other stuff in the Borderlands series I loved. So did anybody have any questions or feedback on the campaign update from yesterday or day before yesterday or whenever it was I did it? Because it's getting quite interesting in the Dolmenwood, and things are. I'm hoping that tomorrow we're going to have a full crew, and then we can knock out, get a lot more accomplished. So Steel Guard. So did you you were 101st Airborne? So I'm trying to think. That's not Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg's 82nd Airborne. 101st. I'm trying to think. Is that Fort Campbell? I got it. Yeah, I got it. Right on. Yeah, I was trying to test the old memory there. I knew 82nd was Fort Bragg, but I was drawing a blank there for a second on the Fort Campbell thing. So did you do anything at Fort Sill? Did you spend any time there for any kind of training or anything, TDY or anything like that? Linda's 1st and 82nd Field Artillery. Nice. So yeah, Linda's, I know you went through Fort Sill. So yeah, sometimes they send especially guard folk, they send them there for, especially if they're going to reclass or something like that, they'll end up going. But and 1st the 82nd, they were stationed at Fort Sill, I think. I want to say they were. I was 1st of the 80th in Germany until it changed to 3rd of the 12th. So anyway, so let's talk about real quick, so I don't get sidetracked. Are any of you guys familiar with this series of books for 2nd edition AD&D? These were very special. The green covers were a very special series of books that TSR put out way back in the day. So we're going to talk a little bit about those. These are the only there's only 2 that I have, and I think there's 6, I think, total in the series. I need to get the other ones at some point, but they're unique in that they are source books based upon history. So here you have the Vikings campaign source book, and basically what this is it gives you a history of the Vikings and all of their. It even has a timeline in here, which I just saw here. It has a timeline, and this is all actual history stuff here. And what they're basically doing here is they're allowing you in your is Ragnar Lothbrok in here? Let's find out here. See if I see his name anywhere in here. I see King Godfred. The Danes raid Lindisfarne. Missionaries arrive in Sweden. Danes raid Kent. Vikings reach Byzantium. What was that name again? There's a Lothair rebels against father hires Danish mercenaries. The Norse invade Ireland. Antwerp sacked. Harold Finehair wins the Battle of Halsford to rule Norway. I'm not seeing that particular name here. No, I see a lot of other names. Eric Bloodaxe captures York. King Edmund. There's a lot more of the timeline too. So here's Harold Bluetooth. They mentioned him, which I did. I don't know if you guys know this, Mister. You probably know this, because you're from the Scandinavia area there. Bluetooth, the Bluetooth technology that we all use, that's named after this guy, Harold Bluetooth, who was I don't know if he was a king or what. He was Danish, and the company that invented Bluetooth technology named it after him. And the little symbol for Bluetooth is actually HB together, for Harold Bluetooth. I saw that on a TV show like 2 days ago. There's King Olaf. Svein Forkbeard dies. King Magnus Olafsson. But no, I am not seeing. Yeah, fine hair was mentioned earlier, I think. Let's see here. Where did I see? I'm pretty sure I saw that name. Where did I see that? Yeah, Harold Finehair wins the Battle of Halsford to rule Norway. In it looks like 1870, around 18, or sorry, not 18, 870. Harold Finehair wins the Battle of Halsford to rule Norway. So that's in here. So, hey, Colin. So anyway, so that's what this book is for. Is if you wanted to somehow, maybe through a time travel type mechanic in your campaign, where they somehow find a portal or something, or they get magically transported to a different time period, you could have them transport to the time of the Vikings, let's say. And these even came with a map. I haven't taken the map. I haven't separated the map. But it would be a period correct map for that time period. And then they even have like the Viking longship plans here and stuff like that. Great source books, especially if you're a history buff. So that's the Vikings one. And then I also have A Mighty Fortress. And this is basically the campaign book from 1550 to 1650. And it was, Europe was torn apart by constant warfare, etc. This was the age of Elizabeth, Francis Drake, Cromwell, D'Artagnan, and Captain Blood. And then basically it's the time of pirates on the Spanish Main, swashbuckling, and all that. So there's another source book, and again, it does come with a map of Europe at the time, a period correct map. And I don't know if this one has a time. Let's see if this one has a timeline in it. It has a timeline like this, though. They don't have it on an actual line, but they actually have it like this, where they have it all the different dates when things happened and all that. Yeah, 1500 to 1650. Oh, it's got pricing and currency values and all that type of thing. So you could it even has where you could roll up characters in that time period if you wanted to do it specifically based on that, and not necessarily with a time travel element, and just base a campaign off of that time period. It has a way to do it there too. Hey, we got Stefan and Zoplovita too. Did I miss anybody? Let's see here. I think we got everybody. I said hi to Colin. I think I got everybody. Right on, guys. So, like I was telling those that were in it earlier, the voice and everything is raspy because of the wind that we're having right now with the dust blowing it. And we're supposed to get rain. We didn't get rain, so it's very dry, dusty, and it's the allergies are just going apeshit. So, what's your take on people saying Viking was only an occupation? Because to me, it's kind of redundant to say it was clearly Norse culture by Norsemen, so it's a white culture. I don't think it was only an occupation. The show I just watched the other day about the Viking culture and their it talked about everything. It didn't just talk about them going on raids or traveling to find exploring new areas or whatever. It talked about their culture at their homesteads where they built these round fortress type deals. Um, it was a whole culture. I wouldn't say that it was just an occupation. I think that's kind of uh, yeah, that's a better way to put it. Yeah, I mean, you had Norsemen that were from, say, Denmark or Norway or Sweden or whatever, that were homesteaders at home, and then you had the Vikings, which were made up of all those folks that decided to go and be more nomadic. Because in those days, with things being unexplored, you could choose to be a homesteader or you could choose to be nomadic and be part of the venturing forth. You know, America even had it when westward expansion happened, and in covered wagons they started going west. Families started going west. They were nomadic up until they found a place they decided that this is going to be it. This is where we're going to make our homestead or whatever. Till that point, they were nomadic. I just think the Vikings, it was earlier on, and I think the Vikings were just better at it. They were of tougher stock. They took more risks, and to be honest, they were probably a little bit more bloodthirsty. But who knows? None of us were there. So that's just a guess. So, um, so yeah, that was it for the. I just wanted to go. Does anybody in here have any of the other ones? Because there was the Celts one on the Celts. There was the Celtic one. There was the Roman. I think there was the Roman Empire. There's like 6 of them. I don't know if anybody else in here has any of these, but it's one of the few things that I need to add to my collection. I need to finish this off. And of course, the longer I wait, the more expensive they're going to get as time. But of course, there's print on demand now, so maybe I might even be able to get them print on demand. I don't know. That would be kind of nice. Matter of fact, I'll look it up on. I got time. I'll look it up on Drive-Thru RPG right now. Mm-hmm. Let's go on here and see what the other books were. Where is search? I do not like their search internal search engine in Drive-Thru RPG. rather than just being able to search by like a title name, you have to tell it which publisher you want to start with, which publisher, etc., and go through all that BS to try and find them. HR1 Viking. Here, how about if I just do a Google search this way? HR1. Kind of go the sideways way here. Let's see here. No, that's just the Vikings one. Yeah, this Vikings one. So the Vikings one right now, it looks like starts at $80. That's just for that one. All right, let's go Wizards of the Coast. Let's go HR2. Let's see if it comes up with it. Okay. Okay, so here we have the whole list. So HR1 is the Vikings campaign. HR2 is Charlemagne's Paladins campaign. HR 5 is the Glory of Rome campaign. HR 6 is the Age of Heroes, which I'm not sure. Oh, that looks like it's that's based on Greek heroes. So that's, I don't know how historically accurate that one is. HR 7 is the Crusades campaign, and that should be all of them. So yeah, and they do have them. You can get the PDFs on Drive-Thru RPG. I don't know if you can do, just watermark PDF. It does not have a print on demand yet on any of these. Of course not. That would just make it too easy, right? So, but you can, if you were interested, you could get the PDFs, and the PDFs are $6 a piece. So. Oh, Bastille, you have the Charlemagne. How do you like it? And you have the Celts too. Let's see if let me get caught up here. Stefan said the word Viking used to buy a name for the journey, ride, or plunder, or something like that, not a name of a certain group of people. Interesting. Well, the show I watched the other day, Stefan, there was a whole thing about the Viking culture, as they called it, and they certainly identified as Vikings. Now, whether or not that was, I don't think it was just an occupation, in my opinion. I think it was more of a lifestyle. Colin, your great grandfather was Danish. I have a bunch of friends from Denmark. A lot of close friends that are from Denmark, from Copenhagen. So I got to know. I can't speak any of it because they rarely speak English very fluently. So they would rarely speak it in front of me. So I've only picked up a couple tiny little things in Danish, but they've taught me an awful lot about their culture over in Denmark and everything. Bastian says he got his copies from Half Price Bookstore. Yeah, and Half Price Books, if I understand correctly, they're not as cheap as they used to be. Used to be you could get some really good deals there. I've heard lately, we have somebody in our group that is always cruising Half Price Books looking for deals and stuff like that. And he said that it's almost impossible to find good deals there anymore. They've pretty much gotten just as bad as eBay or anywhere else. So I don't know how. We don't have a brick and mortar half price books anywhere here, so it would only be the online version. So yeah, I don't. Uh, I think they're using that half price books. It might have been at one time that half price of, say, like current current print books. Maybe there were some that were they could offer them at half price, but they're out of print stuff. They have been matching like eBay prices now. So yeah, uh, I don't know if you could technically. I guess you could technically. I don't know. Maybe you could make some kind of claim on that they'd have to change their name because that is kind of false advertising if you think about it. Stefan said, I made a DNA test to find out if I am any Nordic or Celtic roots. Well, no, I have Slavic in every way. Um, yeah, I did mine, and I am uh, a third Irish, and then the rest is uh, basically the rest of the UK, English, Wales, Scotland, a sliver of French, uh, and because my one grandfather was French Canadian, and I might even have a little sliver of Swedish if I remember correctly. So I do have a little bit of Norseman in, not very much. So um, yeah. Bastille says we used to get these coupons. They were attached to calendars, but the discount was 50%, 40%, etc. So so yeah, you were lucky enough, Bastille, to have a brick and mortar half price books where you could go to. We don't here in Utah. We don't, or at least where I am, we do not have any. So I wish we did. That would be fantastic. So hey, I've got a good number of you of my regulars in here. So I wanted to make an announcement about this next month. So I got a buddy who's moving back to the Midwest. He's moving from Los Angeles, so he's driving up. His family is flying. His wife and child and everything. They're flying to their new house and all that, and he has to drive his truck. He didn't want to sell his truck. He wants to keep it. So he's gonna have to drive that back. So he's driving up through here, and then I'm going with him because they have a pool at their new house. And as you know, I'm a longtime pool guy. So I'm going to go back there and inspect it for them and help them with it, make sure it's all good and all that. And along the way, we're basically doing a guy's road trip, and we're going to be hitting game stores and used bookstores, basically looking for these kind of finds and stuff like this, stuff like this. Um, but we're also going to be stopping at because we're both beer lovers. We're going to be stopping at breweries, uh, and we're going to be basically going I-80 from Wyoming all the way through to like Pennsylvania. Um, so I'm going to be uh, doing, because he'll be doing the driving. It will allow me to be doing social media while we're doing everything. I'm planning on. I haven't decided yet whether it's going to be if I'm going to be doing TikToks or if I'm going to be doing YouTube shorts. Because those are little 3-minute videos, which are easier to do than trying to do a regular video and all that. The shorts and TikToks are easier, especially as you're traveling, to do those. The problem that I have with TikTok is really, really picky about content. And if you say just the wrong thing, or it translates that you said something wrong, it will take down your video. Um, or if even one person makes a complaint about the video, they immediately take it down. And so I don't know if I want to hassle with that, but I also don't know if YouTube Shorts, if I'm going to get the exposure by doing it through the YouTube Shorts stuff. So I haven't, and I will be tweeting. I'll be tweeting a lot, that's easy to just do pictures and maybe even Instagram. But I'll be doing that, like when we take pictures, maybe we're at a restaurant or we're at a brewery or something like that, take a quick pic and then tweet it out or something like that. But like updates, I haven't decided yet. So, yeah, so he's retired now. He just like me. He's retiring. His last day is coming up, like in a week or two. His last day, and he's retiring. So we'll both be fully retired on a road trip, and there's literally nowhere either one of us have to be by any certain time. So we're gonna do because we're going to the Football Hall of Fame. That's one of the places we're going in Ohio. We're going to the NFL football, which is a bucket list item for both of us. So we're going to be going to the Football Hall of Fame. We're probably going to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, even though I've got issues with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I still something I probably need to see. We're going to be going through Lake Geneva again, where the birthplace of D&D and Gary Kahn and all that. We're going to go through there one more time. We're going to be in Chicago for a while. We're going to be in Indianapolis for a little bit. We're going to be in Milwaukee for a little bit. So we're going to be, we're going to be all around. And so if there's anywhere that the reason I'm telling you guys, if I don't know, I know some of you guys are overseas, but the folks that are here stateside, if we're going to be close to anybody, I will make sure to. So Bastille, you're 5 hours from Lake Geneva, so we're going. There's a game seller called Noble Knight Games, one of the biggest game sellers there are in the world, and they're based in was it Madison, Wisconsin. So we're going up through Madison to go to Noble Knight, and then we're going to go from Madison straight over to Milwaukee, and from Milwaukee down to Lake Geneva, and Lake Geneva to Chicago. That's the route we're going to take in that area. So I don't know if that's any closer to where you are, Bastille. I know you're up, aren't you in Minnesota or someplace like that? So maybe Madison's even closer. I don't know. So Linda says if you go north, go through Ohio on I-80, you'll pass about an hour north of me. So we're going to be going down south off of I-80, Linda. We're going to be going to, is it Canton, where the Football Hall of Fame is? And we're going to go through Cincinnati. And maybe Columbus. I can't remember. Because my buddy, he's got a full route planned out. I came up with the route of going to Noble Knight Games to go to Madison over to, correct, Sepulveda. Route 66 is LA to Chicago. That is correct. And it's not an actual route anymore. You can still drive it basically, but the actual route itself doesn't really exist anymore. They have markers up that say old historic Route 66, but you have to kind of dogleg if you wanted to do it exactly. But 8-Bit Bill is here too. If you checked in earlier, 8-Bit, I didn't see you. I apologize if I didn't see you. So anyway, it was that I think when Route 66 was put in originally, there was no federal interstate system. And then when the federal interstate system came in, it kind of basically superseded Route 60. Route 66 wasn't necessary anymore. But it linked up with the federal interstate system. So it's kind of not exactly historically accurate, but you can still drive. You can still drive from Sunset Boulevard at the beach in Los Angeles, which is where it depending upon your perspective, either starts or ends there. You can drive that all the way technically. If you have to change a couple times to get to route, basically when you get to I-80, that's still Route 66. But to get to I-80, old Route 66 doesn't exist anymore. You have to take a few different ways to get up to it. So, what's more believable, Amber Heard or Fly? I think they're equal. I think they're equally believable. So, so I will be literally like several times a day. I will be either on YouTube Shorts, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. I will be giving updates where we're at and what we're doing, so that if somebody wants to set up like a meetup somewhere along the route, you'll know which way we're going. So, Average Estonian is here. Hey, Bipedal's here too. Wow, we had quite a few people checking in. How are you guys? So yeah, if you came in late, I'm just announcing that for next month, me and my buddy Chris are going to be doing our epic road trip back east, and kind of going over the route and everything, so that if anybody wants to try and do a meetup somewhere at a game store or a brewery or restaurant, whatever. You know. So yeah, this one's going to be kind of an epic one because he doesn't plan to be coming out this way anymore anytime soon. Like we're both we're both a huge Raider fan, lifelong Raider fans, and the Raiders are right down here in Las Vegas now. But uh, I asked him. I said, "Well, does that mean that you're not going to want to fly out anymore to go to a Raider game? Because he could fly here to Salt Lake, and like I could pick him up, and then we could just drive down to go to the Raider game. It's only like 5 hours to Las Vegas, and we could go to Raider." But he said no. The cheapest Raider tickets for any game is minimum $500 a ticket. Now, that's insane. Um, Even though we can afford it, there ain't no way in hell I'm ever paying $500 to watch any game. I might pay $500 for the Super Bowl, but you ain't. The Super Bowl tickets are $5,000, but I'm certainly not paying $500 for a regular season game. So if we ever do see the Raiders play live again, it'll probably be I'll be going back and seeing like Pittsburgh or Chicago or somewhere close to where he's at and seeing a game there. Uh, so this is going to be kind of like the road trip to end all road trips for us, you know. Mistress, sleep is for the weak. That for the road trip, I don't know how much sleeping we're going to be getting in because we're going to be lots of miles and lots of places to hit. So Bastille says I might be retired next month too. Oh well, hey, timing could work out real good, Bastille. Oh, it's 2:35 in the morning where you are, bipedal. Wow. Um, no, Steel Guard, we're not going through Oklahoma. We're going to be going on I-80. We're not going down south of I-80 until we get to like Ohio to go south to go down to like Canton or whatever. If we ever do a different road trip, we might end up doing a more southern one. But average Estonian 437 and wow. Did you just get up Estonian? Let's see. I'm trying to keep caught up here with everybody's comments here. NBA tickets, yeah, and I don't follow the NBA much anymore. I used to be a huge Laker fan, but I going through two sets of riots in Los Angeles when we lived there because the Lakers won their championships, and then the fans rioted and destroyed downtown Los Angeles twice. Um, it kind of pissed me off to the point where I was like, you know what, these people these fans do not deserve any more championships. So I actually literally quit cheering for the Lakers because I'm like, because if you guys win the championship, they destroy the city, and I don't I don't want to see that. So yeah, it so Mister, I don't know if you know this, but on the second time that it happened, um, Shaquille O'Neal, he paid out of his pocket to replace all the police cars that got destroyed in the riot. He felt so bad that the fans did that, that he paid out of. I mean, of course, he can afford it. He's a multi millionaire. But the point was, he felt so bad that the fans did that, that he replaced all the LAPD cars out of his own pocket. Um, yeah, and so and don't get me wrong, LA is not the only city that does that. There have been other cities in the past where championships have been won and they've rioted. So it's not just a Laker thing, but it kind of pissed me off. So um, yeah, Bastille. I hope it works out for. I don't if that's if you're just feeling like you want to retire or if you're feeling like you have to retire. I hope either way it works out for you. Mister said 3:38 in the morning. I think I just won't sleep today. Wow. Well, that you're young enough to get away with that. When I was young, I could get away with that. I can't do that anymore. Yeah, I don't want to see rioting anywhere for any reason. Protesting is one thing. Rioting, nope, you cross the line. So and to do it to your city when something good happens, like a championship, that's just stupid. Because you're just literally destroying the neighborhood businesses and everything where you go because your team won a championship. I mean, I get going out in the party, going out in the streets and drinking, and even setting off fireworks or something. I get that, but yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was the whole NBA thing for me. I got to grow up during the heyday of, as far as I'm concerned, the heyday of the NBA when it was the Lakers versus the Celtics. You had Magic Johnson, you had Larry Bird, you had um, McHale and all the other guys on the Celtics. You had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Michael Cooper and James Worthy and all the guys on the Lakers. And those were for as far as I'm glad I got to live through that. And then later, I got to see Kobe and Shaq. But then of course we had the riots and everything, and that's when I quit room. So I got to see the best of the best as far as I'm concerned. So I even got to see Jordan play. So not in person. I didn't go to the game or anything, but yeah, that's the ultimate rivalry, right? The Celtics versus Lakers. So, even though I got a lot of respect for Larry Bird, Larry Bird, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the greatest basketball players. He doesn't get nearly the credit he should have. That dude was incredible. So, but anyway, so yeah, we're going to be doing the Football Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Um, so, how do you guys feel about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Uh, I Some of the inductees that they put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I don't think they're rock. I think there are other genres, which I don't have a problem with them being awarded whatever awards. But if you're going to call it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and you have Madonna in the rock, she's not rock and roll. She was a pop singer. I don't get that. So that's one of the problems that I have. Yeah, and Lindis Dolly didn't want to be inducted. I don't know if you caught that, but Dolly, she wrote a letter saying she was turning it down. Um, and then I guess it didn't matter what she said, they did it anyway. But she did write it saying that she didn't feel that she was did anything in the rock genre to warrant her being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. and so she basically turned it down. They inducted her anyway. So trying to get caught up here. Luke Donnick has the potential to be the next Bird if he improves his 3-point shooting. I have not been following enough to even know who he is. Luca. Yeah, I have not been following, so I will take your word for it. I do kind of somewhat follow the Jazz a little bit. Rudy Gobert and I can't think of some of the other players right now, but they never have what it takes to go very far in the playoffs ever. So they just don't have that. They don't have that whatever that killer instinct is. They don't have the hunger to want to go further. I don't think so. 8-Bit Bill says Rush fan. Yeah, I got issues with it. Yeah. Um, Lindis, Iron Maiden is still not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How is that even possible? Um, Iron Maiden is one of the pantheons of heavy metal rock. I mean, you know, they're they're up there with Metallica and you know, who am I trying to think of here? Rob Halford. Damn. Ozzy Osbourne, Rob Halford, all those, So he's averaging 33 points per game. Damn. Okay. I'll have to start paying attention to him. Yeah, Jay-Z is a rap artist. Now, he's probably one of the better rap artists of all time, but there should be a rap Hall of Fame or a hip hop Hall of Fame if there isn't already. But it's not rock and roll, just like Madonna isn't, neither is Jay-Z. So now if they want to put Run DMC in, if they're not already in, Run DMC ended up doing if I'm not mistaken, it was a number one hit with Aerosmith, which was a rock song, and Walk This Way. And if they want to put them in, I would say, okay, they at least did something contributing towards rock. So exactly, yeah. So that there's my litmus test right there. There's a great example. Um, I think I'm a big fan of Lady Gaga. I think she's an extremely talented artist. She has done rock stuff. She started on the New York scene on the concert when she was before she was ever famous. She was doing all of the club scenes. She was in a Led Zeppelin cover band, and you can watch the videos. And she can sing rock. She even did a song with Metallica on one of the award shows. So using that same litmus test, she has contributed to rock. So I wouldn't have a problem with her ending up there. I lived in Dallas. Well, I lived in Fort Worth, but Dallas Fort Worth is called the Metroplex. It's all one big thing. So I kind of followed uh, the Mavs when we lived there, and it was what was the German guy that was there? I can't think of his name. I used to be a fan of his. He was a pretty good player. I know you'll know it, Mister. You know who I'm talking about. Um, Weird Al. Yeah, I mean Weird Al. If he was in rock, I wouldn't have a problem at all. He covered rock songs, rap songs, pop songs, you name it, country songs. He did it all. So yeah. Yeah, Mark Cuban, Dirk, Dirk Nowitzki. There you go. Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki. I was a big fan of his when we were there. I thought he was pretty. I think he was an underrated player myself. But um, yeah, Mark Cuban has done. He's done some uh, douchebag stuff, but he's also done some incredibly altruistic stuff. He actually has that that website that you can go to now to get prescriptions here in America, and it's like marginally. I mean, it's like a margin, just a small margin of what you would pay for a prescription for, say, insulin or something like that. You go through his website, and he's basically made these big billion-dollar deals or whatever with pharmaceutical companies, and he's offering stuff like at a fraction of the price. And he's doing that basically because he's fed up with the pharmaceutical industry in this country, gouging everybody for life-saving medications. And I don't know the name of it, but yeah. So Mark Cuban, so he does stuff like that. So I can't talk bad about the guy. Yeah, he's done some douchey stuff before, but he's also done a lot of the good he has done is way outweighs anything else he's done. Let's see here. I'll tell you the name of it. See if you want to check it out. You can just Google Mark Cuban Pharmacy. It's called DIRX Pharmacy. Uh, DirectsHealth.com. Or is it Cost? Hang on. No, it's Cost Plus. It's Cost Plus. Yeah, that's what it is. Um, so yeah, uh, here's an example. There's one called Linsopril. That is $24 retail. He's offering it for $3.60 through his Cost Plus Savings company. So yeah, he's saving people a lot of money on prescription drugs. Yeah, I don't know Skip Bayless very much at all. So, um, but I know that Mark Cuban's big when it comes to loyalty, and I'm a loyalty guy. I believe in two-way loyalty between employers, employees, and all that. So, um, uh, I'm definitely on his side when it comes to the loyalty thing. If he's protecting his players or his team or whatever, yeah, I can't fault the guy for that. That's exactly what I would do. So, I wanted to. Okay, so for those that came in later, um, if you guys didn't hear me or weren't in when I said it, Borderlands 3 is free on Epic Games right now for the next couple of days. I guess they're doing some big sale or whatever. So if you want Borderlands 3, no strings attached, it's free if you go to Epic Games. So I don't know if anybody here is a Borderlands fan, but the other thing I was going to bring up was uh, Tomb Raider and Deus Ex that got bought out by that company Embracer, I think it's called. Um, they're saying they put out a statement basically saying that they're going to do as much as they can with those two IPs. They're going to produce as many games and whatever, so you could end up seeing another Tomb Raider movie, maybe we'll see a Deus Ex movie, and they're planning to put out a bunch of games and everything. So, oh yeah, there's going to be a new Doctor Who, um, and the actor that's going to play the Doctor, I can't remember. It's Shooty. I think his first name is pronounced Shooty. I think. Um, he is from the show Sex Education, um, and I saw that show, and he was good in that. He's a good actor. So I think he'll probably do a fine job as a doctor. They could have went to any different way. That there's a lot of different ways they could have gone with that. He's probably not a bad choice. So I have not watched. Um, I have not watched the new Star Trek TV show. Um, Let's see. Should I DM the link instead? Oh, I forget the. I only saw it once or twice. Was it not Legacy? I can't think of it. Embracer Group is making big moves to grab up mid-size and indie studios and just let them do what they do best. So it's true. It makes me wonder if they let the studios do their thing, kind of hands-off approach, and they don't micromanage it, it might work out well for them. Strange New Worlds, that might be it. I think that might be it. Yeah, OHR Gaming. Yeah, I was basically letting everybody know that the third one, Borderlands 3, is free right now on Epic Games. So there's going to be I guess every couple of days it's going to change during the whatever this big sale that they have. So in addition to the free ones, they have a massive sale going on right now. But I guess they're trying to compete with like the Steam sales. So hey, Jesse T is here. New Trek is better than Discovery. I haven't seen Discovery. I'm still on Deep Space Nine. I'm trying to get through Deep Space Nine. So there's a lot of episodes of Deep Space Nine. Holy shit. Yeah, I've heard. So on the Expanse, where am I at on the Expanse? I am where they found the children that the pediatrician or whatever took. The one guy's child, and then there's some other children that they had like in some kind of pods or something like that. And that's where the episode ended. That's where I'm at on the Expanse. Yeah, I'm trying to decide. I can't remember the character's name, but the ambassador lady or whatever. I can't think of her character's name. Um, the middle-aged lady that plays like the ambassador or whatever. Her character I really like. And then uh, I kind of like the sergeant that basically is trying to tell the truth about what happened on that planet um, with the entity that she saw that attacked her and her squad and all that. I like her character. So yeah. And I kind of like the pilot guy too, the guy that flies the ship. Um, yeah, I kind of like him too. But the main character, the main character, I'm not. There's something about him I'm not really Holden. Is it not? Is it Holden? There's something about him I don't it's not clicking with me. I'm not. I don't know. Colin, I am not watching Better Call Saul because I need to get caught up. Um, Average Estonian says, from what I've heard other content creators, that the new Trek is good if you turn your brain off and just enjoy the show, but don't try to think about which makes it sad since old Trek was to think about it. So I kind of get what you're talking about, Estonian. In these franchises, when they get expanded upon so much, there's so much content. Star Wars, if you take, especially with all the animated stuff, and then all the books, which of course, there's an argument about what's canon now and what's not canon, um, and the video games and everything. Star Trek, Star Wars are two good examples. Um, if you start trying to overanalyze every time there's a new series or a movie come out, compare and try and put it in your brain so that it jives with the timeline in your mind of everything that you've already seen, you'll fuck up your experience of what, like this person said. Instead of just enjoying what you're watching, you're too busy trying to make it all make sense in your mind. Um, Star Wars is another um, Star Wars is another great example of that. Lord of the Rings too, to a certain extent. Um, but yeah, like when I was watching The Mandalorian, there are references in The Mandalorian to Star Wars Galaxies, my favorite game of all time. Um, Almost to the point where I know John Favreau or Filoni, Dave Filoni, one of the two of them or both had to have played Star Wars Galaxies, and they're doing an homage because it's such an obvious, reference or whatever. But if I spend too much time trying to analyze as I'm watching it, trying to look for those little things, I miss other stuff. So, you know, um, and I haven't watched Picard yet either because um, I guess I watched all of Next Generation, but I didn't watch the Next Generation movies yet. I guess I need to watch those too, as well as Deep Space Nine. And then I don't know if I need to watch Discovery or what's the other Voyager before I can watch Picard. There's just so much shit to watch, you know. I have not heard of Amos. I have to look that up. Oh, we're over an hour. My throat's starting to hurt, and I can hear the wife upstairs. So it's time for me to call it. Um, anyway, guys, another good stream. Um, Between now and so we're under a month from when we're going to take our road trip. I will, as I do these and do my other videos and stuff like that, I'll keep reminding you guys so that you know when we're going to be leaving and all that. And then you guys can follow along on social media, and um, you guys can even send me info as we're getting close to places to say, oh, you might want to check out this place or whatever. So um, yeah, thanks. So I appreciate all the input. I love when you guys put all this input in here. It really helps. It helps bring up more topics and stuff for me to talk about. So Amos is the guy. Oh, Amos the in the Expanse. Yeah, um, he's growing on me uh, because at the beginning, and I think they did that on purpose. He was kind of he was going out of his way to be a dick. Um, but now, as time is going on, I'm starting to understand him more, and I'm actually starting to empathize with him more. And I probably would conduct myself in a similar manner if I were in that situation. So I'm actually um, relating to that character, the Amos character. Um, I just don't. I don't want to invest too much into him because I have a bad feeling that uh, he might be the next one to go away. You know. So all right, guys. Until what is today? Today's Thursday. We're playing D&D tomorrow. So I will try to I'll try to do the campaign update Saturday rather than wait when it's still fresher in my mind. I'll try to do it on Saturday. So unless something else comes up and I do a video first. don't forget, you guys can follow me on TikTok. I try to do 1 or 2 a day on TikTok, little just short little bullshit ones, you know. Um, and yeah, you're funny, mister. And then I tweet out pretty much daily. So, um, anyway, guys, we will catch you on the flip side.